Hello, everybody. Welcome to our interview here with the one and only Mark Dixon, meteorologist Mark Dixon, who is now our chief meteorologist. Congratulations.
Thank you. Is this Kara's Cures? No?
No, different episode.
Oh,
we're gonna,
all right.
Yeah, well, you can cure the weather, maybe. But today's pretty good, right?
Today's so nice after yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, we had, what, 5 days in a row of 80-plus heat.
Yeah.
Of high humidity, and of course that cold front moved through. Fortunately, no real damage reports from yesterday, but we had some strong winds, lots of lightning, some heavy rain, and now behind that cold front, a nice break. So lower humidity, certainly breezy today, a couple showers out there, but we're gonna get a couple of days stretch before that heat and humidity comes back, and this weekend's gonna actually be worse than what we just dealt with. We're talking about first 90-degree heat of the season. Yes,
so we're gonna get to that, of course, coming up, but I wanted to have you here on our streaming news app, and also I know some of you are joining us on Facebook Live, because it's really an opportunity to, number one, if you are watching on Facebook and you can comment, definitely give Mark a warm congratulations, a well-deserved promotion, as he is chief meteorologist now, and you came up under Bruce DePriest, who was chief here for, well, many years, but he had been here some more than 40 years.
Bruce was unique in that, of course, as we all know, he had only worked at this TV station.
Yes.
And over a 40-plus year career, and to work alongside him since, what it was like, August of 2006. I went dayside, and we worked together every afternoon. So to learn from somebody who knows New England weather like no one else it's invaluable. So it was really a great experience, and then working with him right up until he decided to, take some time off and learn French.
Yes.
He's enjoying retirement. We talked last week and earlier this week.
We're very happy that Bruce is enjoying the lovely retirement that he so deserves. But you've been here now almost 20 years, right? You're going into your 20th year. I just came here just a little bit before you, so we were both, excuse me, I have something in my throat. Must be those
we both started
allergies.
Together. Yeah. So while you recover, we both started, I think, on weekends together, weekend evenings, and you achieved chiefdom before I did.
Oh, yes, as the chief digital anchor, yes. I am chief of the OTT space, which is really, for all the people out there, just when you're watching on the app or on your smart TV on WFSB+. But it's exciting because we have this forum where we can really kind of do longer form things, so I get to really talk about you. And I don't know if people know about this, but you grew up in Tornado Alley, and you wanted to become a meteorologist since, like, you were a little Cub Scout.
Right. So born in Iowa, but raised in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So I think I was 2 weeks old. My dad was able to go to Tulsa to go to law school, and so that's how we ended up in the Sooner State. And it was just kind of serendipitous, just to be there with the severe weather that Oklahoma presents, and then to have a school like the University of Oklahoma in state. So, like, my path was paved from an early age. But yes, I was growing up as a kid, fascinated with severe weather. I was in Cub Scouts, went on a tour of a local TV station, and at that point knew this is what I want to do.
And how old were you?
So I think, I'm pretty sure I was like around 8.
8 years old, and you're like, I know what I want to be.
So,
and you never changed?
No. I mean, I always thought, like, looking back, if I did something else, maybe architecture, because I'm very, like, OCD and very anal retentive. So
yes, Mark is very into symmetry, and so that's very good. As you've been with us for a long time, I know you can help other meteorologists like Scott with putting together IKEA furniture. You're better at that.
Oh, that was quite a task. Yeah, helped him this past weekend. My hand finally feels normal again.
Okay.
And there's more furniture to put together in 2 more weekends.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Well, no, I remember that from a very thing, even when you had your designs in your old apartment, there were, it's very measured and very symmetrical. Yeah. So it's sort of like your love of order, and then you're forecasting in chaos, because the one thing that we have in New England that you say actually you enjoy is that we never know what the weather is going to be, and what you do, but it changes so often. It's a lot of change, and that's one of the exciting things about doing the weather here.
When I talk to retirees or to kids and visit schools, like the best thing about living in Connecticut is the diversity of the weather, because we get all 4 seasons. I wish they were equal in length, that winter wasn't the longest.
Yeah, why is that?
But, it is what it is. But we get it all, from extreme heat to extreme cold. We get the nor'easters and blizzards. We occasionally get a tropical system. And, of course, like yesterday, we get severe weather, too.
And what is your favorite season?
Well, growing up in Oklahoma, I'd have to say the severe weather season. The storms, the tornadoes, anything like that, yeah.
Okay, so it's not even about what the sun is doing. It's more about you like it just when it's severe.
Well, I mean, I enjoy all 4 seasons, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Because you're a runner, and so do you run in all seasons?
On a treadmill.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a workaround.
There's a workaround.
Yeah,
okay, so yes, and many of you probably have known if you've been with us any length of time. Mark is always so involved in a lot of your philanthropic work is in running and walking and marathons, and you love to stay fit.
A boot camp these days.
A boot camp.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to give a shout out to where you go, or no?
Yeah, so Valhalla Fitness in Newington. So it's a step below CrossFit because I think that's a little too much for me.
Okay.
So it's a nice happy medium between like a boot camp and a CrossFit.
And people may not know this as either, but tomorrow I think they're going to get to witness this. You do cook a mean cloud cake.
Yes.
What is the cloud cake, if you could share?
So if you are a longtime viewer of Great Day, formerly Better Connecticut, then this has been something we've done before.
Yes.
So it's coming an encore presentation.
So it's fluffy.
So it is a flourless chocolate cake, and it depends on the part of the cake that you're referencing, because the top part is fluffy, but it sits above a very dense flourless chocolate cake.
Yes, okay, so that's right. I just remember fluffing, like making the homemade whipped cream, but I like the flourless part of the chocolate cake. So we're gonna get to have that, and you're gonna teach us how to make that tomorrow on Great Day Connecticut.
And when we say teach,
well, show us, right? And then we'll get to post
I do see the segments that you and Scott do routinely.
Well, yeah.
They're sometimes disastrous.
They're sometimes disastrous, but you're gonna make it, and for those of you who are watching at home, you'll be able to see the recipe, and then they can make it. We'll put that out there. So, also Mark is a really good son, and Martha is your mom. And I love that when you take vacations, because I have a son, and so I think, is he going to do this with me? Some days you take a vacation, like a week-long vacation, and you spend it with your mom.
Yeah, so coming to Connecticut was kind of a job decision, right, back in 2003. So coming to New England, this was my first time when I interviewed for the job, it was my first trip to New England. So my mom, being from small town Iowa and then living in Oklahoma, like loves visiting New England.
Yeah.
So it became a tradition. Initially, she would come for an entire week. We've scaled back now
a little?
to long weekends.
Oh, yes, long weekends.
Yes,
okay. But Martha Martha loves to give you Beanie Babies. Does she still give you Beanie Babies? And can you share the Beanie Babies story?
Well, I mean, it started, my brother equally gets them. It wasn't nothing that's just like Mark-centric, but I think that started back in, middle school, high school, whenever Beanie Babies were popular.
Okay, so back when they were popular.
And so, I mean, I still have one or two. I mean, I still have all of them. They're like in the basement in a box, but there are a couple that are, come out in certain
Because
holidays.
She continued to give them as you grew older. Like it was still you're my little baby, and I'm going to give you Beanie Babies. So.
No, she thought of me like
well, that's how mothers
baby.
Think. You never grow up.
But we've kind of evolved in the gift giving now of adulthood.
Of adulthood, no more Beanie Babies. Well, I think that's very nice. I really do. I hope she still gives you Beanie Babies. And I know you're very nice because you always get her like what she likes. She likes those Mackenzie Child things. The check paint, if you know where people.
Yeah, the quarterly check.
The quarterly check, okay.
The quarterly check. So it's nice to have that kind of spread out throughout the house. And she loves cross stitch and needlepoint, so she's always doing that.
Okay, all right.
We went and visited on one of her trips Simon Pierce up in Vermont.
Yes,
so the glass factory.
Beautiful glass
that's
factory.
become kind of an annual kind of Christmas gift situation.
So, nice, very meaningful. So, for the folks who are here, and I know that we can only take so much time because you're going to be preparing for the evening newscast, but in the role of chief and how we do weather here, a lot of people don't understand. I mean, nowadays it's like, the kids look on, oh, the weather says this, and they look at their iPhone app, but that's not always the most accurate. Like, you are coming in here, and what are you doing to really forecast really local weather?
So, like, what your app gives you is basically an algorithm based on the latitude and longitude of your phone.
Okay.
So it doesn't really have any human interaction. And because weather's an inexact science, and what's happening outside the doors here in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, it's being affected by what's happening, of course, hundreds of miles around us in every direction, 30, 40,000 feet up. So there are a lot of variables. Things are very fluid. So you need that human interaction, and also to like weigh the differences of models to determine like, is this storm that's coming that's going to be like one that produces snow? Like, you want that human interaction that has experience, that has intuition based on past experience, to make the decisions on a forecast, as opposed to an algorithm on an app.
Okay, and you are using a live Doppler that's ours in the state. So the accuracy and what you're doing, like when you're coming in, you're reading models, you're using your forecasting abilities to really create the forecast as it's happening. Like yesterday when we had severe weather, that's not something that we could get that pertinent information from looking at the phone, because you're looking at it in real time and showing us exactly what's happening.
I mean, the phone, our WFSB weather app is key because it helps to disseminate information.
Yes.
And then you can get a broad look at what we're looking at. And also, of course, if you lose power, it's a way to stay connected and get information.
Oh, our app is very good. I'm talking about the random, iPhone app. But our WFSB weather app, you should definitely download, because you are getting that much better of a forecast.
Yeah, and should also point out that the forecast that you see here on Channel 3 is unique to Channel 3. It's our forecast, so we're always taking in new information and evolving that forecast as we head forward in time.
And even sometimes by half hour to half hour.
Oh yeah. And like yesterday was a great example. And I think a lot of people also lose sight of maybe that, living here in Connecticut, somewhat spoiled in that we take one of the smallest states in the country and we make it the size of your TV screen. So I did have a little stint in Little Rock, Arkansas before coming here, and Arkansas is 75 counties large, and that was the size of your TV screen. So just think about the level of precision where we have to really amp up our game to try to forecast for such a small area and with such precision. So, there's so much, there's the entire coastline, I think point to point, like roughly 100 miles. There's the Connecticut River Valley, there are the hills of Northeast Connecticut, the Litchfield Hills in Northwest Connecticut. So all these little microclimates that can play into forecasting, again, bringing it back to a winter storm, like the rain-snow line, or if it's going to be all snow, what part of the state's going to see the most based on how the storm tracks. And, a shift of 15 to 25 miles can make a huge difference.
Yeah. So I'll put you on the spot a little bit. What's the hardest thing about your job?
Well, I mean, you want to tell people what they want to hear. So when somebody tells you they have plans at 7 o'clock on a Saturday evening, and you want to say, yeah, I hope you can squeeze that in before the rain comes. So that's the challenging part, is you don't want to disappoint people, but you have to also just convey what we know to be accurate at the time. Yeah,
and stressful, I'm sure, on everyone sitting there watching to see, are we going to get a cancellation for school, which is not your decision, it's a superintendent's decision, but they're all watching, and they're...
And the other thing too, like, I know when I talk to kids again, I impart upon them that you have to have a thick skin in this business, right?
Okay.
For you, for me.
Yeah.
But given that, the forecast is our credibility. So we're never going to purposely go on air to mislead anybody. Like, there's no malicious intent. Like, we always do try to bring our A game and give the most accurate forecast. So, like, when we don't get it right, we're equally frustrated.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, okay, let's move on. Like, we're equally annoyed that, like, okay, this didn't play out because of X, Y, and Z.
And we have a team of meteorologists here. As chief, your role then will be, even starting out with the day, looking ahead and kind of giving what everyone else will fall under, because the chief meteorologist is going to help lay it out of what you believe is going to happen for that day.
It's a team effort.
A team effort, okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people are involved in how a day unfolds and how we cover certain things. But yeah, I mean, to kind of help run point on that and help get information out there and get our team to congeal and do what we need to do to, best deliver for the viewers of Connecticut.
Yeah, so which we, of course, if people don't know and you're watching on the app, they can watch you every day, starting at 4 o'clock on Eyewitness News. And now you're going to be 4 to 6:30, 7, and now you're also going to be on 11, and sometimes you're on the noon news. For many years, Mark and I worked on the noon news together, and occasionally you still make your Bow Tie Friday appearances. I'm not sure if that'll still continue to happen with all your chiefdom roles, but... I
think eventually the Friday noon show will go away.
Okay, no more Bow Tie Friday.
But in the interim, it's going to be here for a little bit longer.
Yeah. So it must be really exciting for you, and we're so proud of you, and congratulations. It's really, I think, always nice when someone who's been on the team for so long, when there's a promotion from within, and I know you got to really learn under Bruce, but it must mean a lot for you to have this.
It's still kind of surreal.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really clicked in yet. To have it said on the air for the first time yesterday was weird.
Yeah. So it's sinking in. So lifelong dream from that 8-year-old Cub Scout wanting to be a meteorologist, and now you're a chief meteorologist. So congratulations. And just talk a little bit, because I'll put it up on the screen, but our industry is changing so much, and I know we're all changing with it, but especially with the app. This is something that if you're watching on our apps right now and on Facebook, you really understand how to do this. But people want to download this because this is new and completely different than what we've had before as far as their access to your local forecast and our team's local forecast.
Yeah, we should point out, so the station, WFSB, we have 2 apps. So you still have your news app, and then you need to get the weather app too. So if you think I already have this, you probably don't. So you need to go to your app store, download it, or perhaps scan the QR code, and then it will take you to your app store and to download that. But it's neat in that, again, you can see the radar, you can get video forecast updates from us here at Channel 3, as well as any sort of alert that comes out. So like for instance yesterday, a severe thunderstorm watch was initially issued for Litchfield and Hartford County. So if you were in Litchfield or Hartford County, based on your phone's location, if you were physically in one of those counties, then your phone would say, hey, a severe thunderstorm watch was issued for your area.
Okay.
So let's say you at the time were in Hartford, but then maybe your spouse or your kid maybe was in Middletown. So that's Middlesex County. So they didn't get that alert because they're not in that area that was, so it's very precise.
Yeah,
is what I'm
okay, so it's going to be a very personal, many years together, much success, and we encourage everyone to tune in tonight, and we'll post this on our social media channels too, but you can also go and just give Mark a really, really warm congratulations on his promotion as Chief Meteorologist.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Excited for the future.
Have a great day, everyone. We will see you on Eyewitness News starting at 4, and before that, we have Great Day Connecticut coming up at 3, and don't forget, tomorrow you can see Mark's Cloud Cake on Great Day.
Yum, yum.
Have a great Tuesday.